management company in Sicily called Sicily Events. We are quite a specialized DMC. We only do Sicily, and we only do corporate events. So that makes us quite a specialized agency, I would say. Already, I have to say, and I say we only do Sicily, but it does happen that we every now and then do events also in other parts of Italy for clients with whom we've worked already more often and more times, but normally we would only do events in Sicily. I started the presentation with a short video just to give a little bit idea of the vibe of what our events look like, and what kind of vibe we can give to the events. And then after that, I'll go a little bit more into detail on the destination. Okay, I hope that was not too loud. For me, it was very loud, but okay, we're back in the presentation. Sicily, most of you probably know where it is. It's in the south of Italy, the largest island in the Mediterranean. But I think I've got a few things to say to you you probably don't know about Sicily. Sicily has 4 international airports, for instance. There live 5 million people in Sicily, which is about the same amount of people that live in Norway. The size of Sicily is basically more or less the size of Belgium and about 80 times the size of Malta. So maybe these are things that you didn't know about Sicily, but it also implicates that Sicily basically, it is an island, it's part of Italy, but it's actually like a small country. It has everything to offer that a small country has to offer as well. The size of Belgium, the amount of people that live here are similar to Norway. So, as I said before, we've got 4 international airports, and before COVID times, in the good times, a bit over a year ago, we were connected to more or less 80, I think it was more than 80 destinations, and we had hourly flight connections to Rome and Milan. And also with the UK, we are pretty well connected. So we have British Airways, Norwegian, TUI, and EasyJet flights from London, but also direct flights from Manchester, Birmingham, and Bristol in the more in the summer months, but still direct connections. So of course, we all hope that this is going to come back when we are going back into business. I mean, we don't need to talk around it at the moment. No one is working in our industry. But surely we'll come back one day. So, so as I said before to you, we are quite a specialized DMC. We have 2 offices in Sicily, one in the area of Catania and one in the area of Palermo. And I'm mentioning that to you because with these 2 offices, we are literally within 1.5 hour drive of all our suppliers. And I think for many, especially corporate events, it's something that's very important, and I think it's one of the strengths that we have. We are also often a partner for instance, for automotive events, and you know, everything needs to be really organized in detail for that kind of events. And for us, it's just easy to get into the car and actually go to the places, visit them, take measurements, talk to our suppliers, and make sure that everything is in order for the event. So that's a little bit about us, but let's go to the destination and also about the kind of events that we often organize in Sicily. As I said, Sicily is like a small country, So it has lots of spectacular event locations. I've chosen this picture because it has like this Sicilian authenticity. To this picture, it's right on the sea. This is an old tonara where they use, it's like a tuna fish farm, which can be rented for private events. This is just one of the many locations. We've got many modern locations. We've got locations that are hotels and that kind of locations. And this is like a more like an authentic feeling to it. So there is basically for every client or for every request, there is the right location we can offer. Sicily has a few Baroque towns. This is the town of Syracuse, the town square there. It's in the southeast of Sicily. In that area, you also have the Baroque towns like Noto, Ragusa, Modica, all, let's say, similar in architecture and all great settings for the event. I said Sicily is quite big, but on the other hand, it's also quite small in the sense that you can actually visit all these towns and many other things that you can see in the presentation without driving too much. And I think that's also a big advantage of our destination. Another town that's of course very interesting and everyone has heard about is Palermo, which is the Sicilian capital. The history of Palermo is much older than Baroque. I'll just like to introduce you to Nicola, my colleague, who is working in the Palermo area. He's got a few words to say to you. It's a short video.
Good morning, I'm Nicola and I'm the Sicily event coordinator for the western part of Sicily. Behind me, you can see the stunning cathedral of Palermo. That is only one of the 9 monuments we have here inserted in the UNESCO World Site Heritage List. Apart of the monument, the western part of Sicily is really vibrant and young, and there is a lot to do and to see. So we wait for you here to experience together the beauty of this area of Sicily. Bye.
Ciao, Nicola. Nicola is in Palermo, and he was talking about the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Sicily has got 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which is the biggest concentration of UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the whole of Italy. So there's lots of things that are really interesting to see, but also much more modern, many modern things, like you have great bars and restaurants to go to, really nice activities to do. So it's not only history on the island. For instance, the volcanoes, I think that's one of the unique aspects of Sicily as a destination. We've got actually 4 active volcanoes on our territory, in the sense that we have in the south of Sicily the island of Pantelleria, which is the active volcano, and then we have the Aeolian Islands with 2 active volcanoes, which is here the island of volcano where the photo is taken from, and we have got Stromboli, which has every 15 minutes an eruption that you can actually see from pretty close up. And then, of course, we've got the highest active volcano in Europe, which is Mount Etna, very often a place that we visit during our events. I'll come back to that later. Of course, we have many remote fishing villages. This is a photo of the village of Marzamemi in the southeast of Sicily, a beautiful place with a very, very nice square where you can do things and very unique. Spectacular nature in all sorts of forms. In this case, it's the Scala dei Turchi in the southwest in Sicily. And of course, we've got top-class resorts. This is a photo of the Voi hotels in the area of Taormina. One of the Voi hotels, Atlantis Bay. It's a hotel we work a lot with. This is one of the 7 or 8 5-star hotels in Taormina. Taormina is an area, is a resort town where actually it was 2 years ago, I think it was, the G7 was held here in Taormina. It has beautiful views. It's very close to the airport. It's very close to the sea. So it's an ideal solution for instance, for an incentive trip. And of course, we've got the best chefs in the world. Well, maybe even to say the best chef in the world. This is Nonna Maria. Nonna Maria is working a lot with us. She is, of course, when with her we make, for instance, we do a pasta making workshop or something like that. When she is working with even 80 people during a corporate event, it's clear who is the boss there. Although she doesn't speak any English, she absolutely knows what she is doing and who knows how to make pasta best. And it's really fun to work with her, and it's always a big success. As I said before, we do all corporate events. So we do meetings, we do conferences. We are the partner very often for automotive events. We work with BMW, with Maserati, Volkswagen, Mercedes, Skoda, a bit all the brands. But I think the main part of our events are incentives, because Sicily is just a very good incentive destination. When I went to the last workshops I did in the UK, for instance, it always surprises me how few people have actually been to Sicily. Everyone has heard of it. I don't think it's a problem of the name recognition. But out of 20, 25 appointments, maybe 1 or 2 have ever been to Sicily. So that means that that is still quite a kind of a new destination for a lot of companies. And I think that's very attractive. And also, what I said before, you can do a really nice incentive program, very, very varied program, without driving too much, and let's say keep changing scenery every 2 or 3 hours during your event, and not rushing too much. So that's why I think Sicily is a nice destination. Mount Etna, as I said before, is one of the highlights, I think. This is Europe's highest active volcano, 3,340 meters high. And for instance, the picture that you're seeing here, it's a small hike through the lava fields on Mount Etna. You can do this hike even in a half a day. So you can have, let's say, your resort in Taormina, have a meeting in the morning, have even lunch in the hotel, leave the hotel at 1 o'clock, go up to Mount Etna, have a short hike, do another thing, maybe have a coffee or an aperitif or whatever, go back to the hotel, and at 6 o'clock you're back in the hotel again. So you don't need to travel long distances to have like this kind of unique experiences. Since Etna, in my opinion, is one of the highlights, I've asked Francesco also to explain a little bit more about what we do on Mount Etna. Francesco is our partner that we work with a lot on Etna. So there we go.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Francesco, and I'm here to introduce myself and this beautiful area. Right now, I'm in Castiglione di Sicilia, which is actually a very nice little medieval town on the east coast of Sicily. We are not far away from the sea, and I'm here also to tell a little bit of what we do. I work for a little company called the Company. We organize jeep tour, walking tour. We can go mountain biking. We can visit the trailers in the area of Mount Etna. We go the way to the top. And right now, I don't know if you see it, but there is some activity on Mount Etna. It's already a couple of weeks. It's having some very interesting activity from the summits. This is what we offer to our clients. We usually organize some interesting off-road tours in small groups. We can also organize some events. Of course, we cooperate with Marcel and his team during this activity. We can visit the beautiful vineyards that are all around this area. So this area is famous under this point of view. We can go for wine tasting. We can organize a picnic on such a beautiful landscape. Sure that you enjoyed this tour with Marcel, and I wish we can travel soon again, and I'm looking back to Mount Etna. Thanks. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci, Francesco. This photo that you see here, it's not a photo that we have done during one of our latest events, but it is a photo actually that's very similar to the latest eruption, which was yesterday, which was very much like this one, or the day before yesterday, I think. So a few of my friends sent me pictures like this of the eruption of the day before yesterday. So these are things that are really happening on Mount Etna. We can do lots of activities on Mount Etna. Francesco was already talking about quad biking, mountain biking, just a simple hike that can be done by everyone and still go to some of the lateral craters, for instance. It doesn't need to be very heavy. It can be really fun and team building kind of activities. And very often we do that also in collaboration with the Volcanologist Institute of Catania. So we get real experts talking about what's going on this crazy mountain, I would say. And lots of team building formats we can do there as well. We have actually a partner here in Sicily who is one of the biggest team building companies that are often offering team building formats in the whole of Italy, and they are from Sicily. They are our partner for the local team building events that we do here. So we work with the local experts for doing that kind of things. Of course, special dinners, which is always during incentive trip something that's very important. I'm showing showing you this picture because it's in a very special location. It's the villa where they filmed all 3 of the Godfather movies. Sicily still has not the reputation, but is known for, of course, for the Godfather movies and everything that's around that. So we can actually visit the villa where they filmed all these movies. It's a villa that normally is not open to the public, but only for special events can be opened, and it's a really beautiful location. Also, if you do nothing with the film, but simply as a very Sicilian, authentic venue. We can go there with vintage cars tours, for instance. We can do transfers with vintage car tours. We can do trips into the countryside with vintage cars tours. Also for very big groups, up to about 200 people, we can cater for with these groups. And of course, Sicily being an island, it's got a lot of beach, not only for swimming or sunbathing, but also for beach party, for instance. Even like with a private, we can have a privatized beach as well. So lots of options there as well. Being an island, of course, also sailing regattas and that kind of activities can be arranged for you. Cooking activities in all sorts of forms. We've already seen La Nonna Maria. In this case, it's a pizza making workshop, actually for an Italian client, in this case, continental. But as you can see, also there, also for Italian clients, it's really nice to do. Accompanied maybe with some music entertainment, can be very traditional like this one, but it can also be more modern in all sorts and forms. Wine tasting as well. This is interesting. This is a winery in the southwest of Sicily, in Marsala, the Florio winery, where they make the sweet wine. So this is kind of an elegant way of doing a wine tasting, but very often clients look to do something like this, or like a more informal lunch with a wine tasting. Social distancing in this picture obviously is not the case, but we hope we can go back to this kind of scenes again. But this is the atmosphere that we search to create when we have these incentive programs. This social distancing wise still possible. A picnic under the olive trees on the slopes of Mount Etna. In this case, we've done it with the Michelin star chef. It's a UK group in this photo. We've done this before about 2 years ago. And here we've got the villa again of the Godfather. In this case, it's a setup, a very special setup for in this case, not really a corporate event, but a birthday for one of the partners of Goldman Sachs from New York that we organized for him here at the Godfather Villa. When we do the incentives, we always also very often look for incentive details to insert into the program. In this case, it's an APK where someone is making fresh orange juice. This is just a very low-key, simple example, but the idea is that we look to do things that you can actually not do when you do like your normal holiday. So that's always our aim to make these programs really a little bit more special than just simply putting things together. And then when I was doing this presentation or preparing this presentation with Joe, she said, what about like high-end luxury options in Sicily? Is there anything especially you can say on that? Well, we do have two resorts of the Belmont chain and two resorts of the Roccoforte chain. They are really top of the bill. At the Roccoforte chain resort, Verdura, for instance, Google is doing its yearly summer camp there, for instance. So that's really like high end. Four Seasons is opening a new hotel, or an old hotel actually, but a new opening in the center of Taormina with 111 rooms. We have Michelin star chefs, exclusive wineries, of course, yachts, helicopters, vintage cars. And there are many boutique hotels, really high level all over the island, very often also in a little bit more remote places for small retreats, private villas. So basically, there's a little bit for everyone. So if you have clients like that, or if you are a client like that, just send us a request, and I'm sure we'll be able to cater for that. Yes, we have to say something on COVID as well, of course. I mean, we're in the middle of it. It means at the moment we are basically not working or not doing any programs anyway. We are preparing programs, but Sicily or Italy, I must say, was of course one of the first countries to be affected by COVID. And I think it has helped us a little bit in a sense that we got so scared at the beginning in March that it seems to be that all these stringent rules that are in place about social distancing, mask wearing, etc., they have really become a sort of a normal thing in life to us now. Of course, we have got all the things like the body heat scanners at the airports. Testing is really widely available and very well organized now. The big pity is there's no more hugs and kissing, the thing that we were so good at before. I hope it's coming back, but not at the moment anyway. We always look for creative solutions, of course. So with the climate we have here, we can do a lot of the program outdoors. Social distancing, of course, is the norm. And we've got good hopes. Good hopes, one in the vaccination program. It already started. It's rolling out. It's scheduled in Italy. A vaccination passport that a lot of people are talking about lately. I think is going to be one of the solutions for the travel industry, because that really makes us free again to travel. I think if something like that will happen. I'd love to hear your point of view on that as well. And the really good hope is, of course, that we're already receiving first new bookings for 2021. At the beginning, only from Italy, but we actually do have also bookings from abroad already for this year even. But our real hopes are, of course, for the end of the year or for next year, 2022, that things are going back to normal again. So, well, you've already understand that we work a lot with corporate events of all the big corporate companies we work for. We have 16 years of experience. These are just few of the clients, but we have done hundreds of them in the past 16 years, of course. And we do that all with our team. Here we have Nicola, you've already met. Diletta, I think she's on the call as well. Tobias, Chiara, and then there is Luca. He's not on the picture, but he's with us already since 3 years, I think now. And the rest of the team already for over 6 or 7 years. So we're all experienced and I would say all senior event managers. I think it's important for you to share this photo of the team with you, because it's really our philosophy to work as a team together, but not only our team, but especially with your team as a client or as a partner agency. And on the other hand, with our suppliers, your suppliers, our suppliers. Teamwork is really something that is it's the key word for us when we do our events. with the whole chain. So that was my presentation. I would say welcome to Sicily. If you have any requests about Sicily or about our events, or even like a group you would like to bring, or doubts about Sicily, please ask, or now, or send us an email, or get in touch with us, and let's discuss together how we can make your next event in Sicily with us. Thank you for your attention, and I'll go back to Joe, and I'm here for your questions.
Thanks, Marcel. That was amazing. That was really good. Hope you all liked Sicily and enjoyed Sicily. Does anybody have any questions for Marcel? I know Sandra had one in regards to when's the Four Seasons opening, and Tobias has answered saying it's opening mid-2021. Does anybody else have any other questions for Marcel while he's online? You guys can unmute yourselves if you like. Take that as a no.
I don't have a question. I just want to go and work with him in Sicily.
Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Well, Marcus, whenever you want to come, you just come off your rock and you come this way.
Okay. I definitely see there's a Dutch connection here because I'm half Dutch and you sound it. So we've got something going here. No, it looks like a fantastic destination, honestly. And I can't wait to put my case forward for the Canary Islands in a couple of weeks' time. But frankly, as a DMC, what I saw in this presentation is frankly surprising. I've never been to Sicily yet. I've seen all the Godfather series, but I've never been able to go there as a visitor. It looks spectacular.